So hello again everybody, welcome back to my second video blog. So I am just taking a little stroll. I've just finished my second day of treatment. I had a chat with you all yesterday, gave you a bit of an outline, spent way too long trying to edit and upload that video onto YouTube then. I ended up just doing it simply from my phone, whereas I'd been prepared to do a load of stuff with my computer and things like that. So my apologies for it not being the most crisply delivered production that you might have ever seen, but I'm sure that I'm going to get a little bit better as I go along and make a few more of these. And then again, just huge thanks to you guys. You've watched, I think I looked a minute ago, something like 270 something views. I never dreamt that there would be that many people that would be interested in what it is that I have to say. So thank you for taking the time to watch and for leaving your comments and your feedback and things like that. Really appreciate it. Again, if there's any questions, if there's anything, a couple of you have said that, you really enjoyed it. And that it did make you think that you had questions for me, and so let me know what they are. Put them in the comments section there, and anything that comes up I will do my very best to answer. I genuinely want to make sure that you get as much out of this as possible. Excuse my slightly dodgy camera work here. I'm using a fancy new gimbal thing that I bought off Amazon a few days ago to try and get rid of any shake on the video, because I did want to do some of these out walking about, because there's some quite nice areas around here by the looks of things. So moving on, basically what I wanted to do today is just tell you a little bit more about some of the treatments that I've had. Again, I just kind of skimmed over things yesterday, wanted to make it a nice brief introduction video for everybody, let you know kind of the journey so far, as it were. And let you know that how I was doing. But yeah, just want to go through in a little bit more detail what it is that I've been going through here, some of the reasons why we chose to come to Germany. So it's a question that I get asked quite often, and kind of a little bit more on timescales and what's going to be happening hopefully over the next couple of weeks. So just to start off with, yesterday I told you that I'd gone through my first round of treatments, the Lance Armstrong-esque blood doping scandal. Some infusions were given to me, and some other types of drugs. A change of painkillers that I was on as well. I was on quite a high dose of oral tablet form morphine. They've now changed that to patches of fentanyl, which are on my back, which are supposed to relieve some of the side effects of the high doses of morphine. And I must say I'm feeling less drowsy and a little bit more with it than I was when I was on such a high dose of morphine, which is fantastic. Then I had a lovely evening meal and got a really good night's sleep last night. Again, missing Laura and Luna so much. Really not used to sleeping on my own anymore, which is very strange. But managed to get a really good night's sleep. Woke up this morning. My first thing, even before breakfast, they did I went for a hydrotherapy treatment, which was kind of similar to part of my regime way back when, before lockdown hit, when I would go to the gym every morning and I would go swimming. And after a swim, I used to like to get in the sauna or the steam room, and in between those stints of being hot, I'd go and get in a really cold shower. I found it really refreshing and revitalizing. And they did something similar, except I was stood there and it was a bloke with two hoses, who basically just kind of hosed me down in hot water, and then did the same with cold water, and then hot water, and then cold water. And I think they did that 3 or 4 times, and apparently it's really good for your immune system. It's good for detoxification and things like that. So that was quite interesting. It certainly wakes you up anyway if you're not used to being doused with cold water at 7:30 in the morning. So that was the first thing that I did. Then went and had breakfast in the restaurant, which is all kind of laid on for us here, and then went back to the treatment centre, the physiotherapy centre I should call it, and then they did reflexology on me, which was my first experience of that, which was quite an experience, quite something. It was basically a foot massage, I guess, is probably the best in layman's terms. If you're like me and you didn't really know what reflexology was. I know Laura, my wife, was very jealous that I was getting reflexology. In fact, she seems quite jealous of a lot of my treatments, actually, because it's a fair amount of it is fairly holistic here. It's centered around lots of stuff, a lot of mental health if you need it, which is fantastic. A lot of things around healing your body and trying to improve your own immune response, which is really, really important when it comes to cancer care in a lot of people's opinions. So reflexology, then I did something called magnetic field therapy, which was just basically this special bed, which I guess has got magnetic fields around it. So they turned the machine on and just kind of left me there for half an hour. Not gonna lie, I fell asleep because it was quite relaxing. And then I did something also called brain light, they called it. So you lie down in a dark room, you listen to I'll have to make a note of the chap's name because I can't remember. But it was a meditation kind of CD, talking about how you heal the body through the power of the mind. And at the same time, I had these pair of glasses which had blue flashing LED lights in them. So when you lie there with your eyes closed, it's like you're watching this weird psychedelic light show in front of you, which was really quite something. It was weirdly hypnotic, I think is the best way to put it. And then after that, had lunch. So the morning was spent doing those kinds of treatments. Then went off and had some lunch, little bit of rest, and then went back to the treatment centre. This time I saw the doctor again. The doctor this time did an examination on me, which entailed also doing an ultrasound scan. So he's now scanned and taken a look for himself at my liver and my pelvis, at the two areas where the tumours are present in my body currently. So he's taken various measurements, taken a look at them, I guess, to see where they're situated, if they're interfering with anything else. He seemed fairly optimistic in terms of the size of the tumours and how they've been behaving. Also got my blood test results. So the first day, yesterday, they took some blood. And apparently it's all looking pretty good. So my liver function is good, my kidney function is good, the cancer markers which they use, obviously I'm displaying that, but it's not as high as it could be, apparently. So again, take that as a massive win. And the way the doctors have always described it to me with my disease is that where I've got the two tumours in different areas, the one in my rectum that won't kill me. That will just affect my quality of life. And obviously, you know, I've already seen a certain degree of that to some extent, where I've had to have the stoma bag fitted, and that's where most of my pain comes from. So days when I can't do things is down to the pain in my pelvis, essentially, literal pain in the backside, for want of a better word. So that's not going to kill me. The liver disease, the tumours in my liver, if the disease progresses, then that's the one that is more likely to end my life, essentially. So the liver, like I said, it's there, it's present. The tumours are quite large. He doesn't think that it's more than about 30%, more than a third of my liver at the moment. And like I said, my liver is functioning really well. And in his own words, he doesn't think that will pose a threat to my life over the coming months, is what the way that he described it to me. So again, I'll take that as a massive win. It's something that's there. That's what we're here to deal with. Moving on from that now, what we're going to be doing. So after I saw the doctor, I'll just finish up telling you what the last treatments I had. I had another vitamin C infusion today, and then after that they gave me another detoxification injection, and then that's kind of that's it for today's treatment, so to speak. So tomorrow I will, as it's the weekend, I'm not doing very much treatment at all. It's only a very small amount over the weekend, but I do want to get a head start. So I think this weekend I'll be doing more than I will do on most other weekends. Monday is when I'm going to start some of the main treatments here, which are so the first one that I'm going to tell you about is what they called hypothermic. So this is basically heating up the tumours to try and shrink them down, encourage the cell death, what they call apoptosis in the cancer world. Now that means heating the tumours up to your normal body temperature would be about 36-37 degrees. They heat the area up around the tumour to somewhere around about 43 to 46, the doctor said to me today. And like I say, that is purely designed to kill the cancer cells. They don't like it. They don't like the heat. It's too extreme for them, and they then will hopefully perish, and then that could have the result of shrinking the tumour. So that's what we're aiming for with that. Sounds great. I'm not sure how it's going to feel. I've had to sign all kinds of paperwork and stuff to say that I consent to it, as you do anywhere for any type of medical procedures these days. So that's going to be starting on Monday. And then moving on from there, after that, that's going to be primarily directed at the tumours in my pelvis at that point. The liver, like I said, isn't his main concern at the moment. It's more that one. So trying to get the one in my pelvis shrunk down before we start looking at the one in the liver. Following on from that, that's when we'll start looking at the liver over the next couple of weeks, I believe. So really encouraged by what he said today, and just still really hopeful. I as I'm going to move on to talking about now why we chose to come to Germany, was a lot of it was based on some of the conversations that we had with the consultants here. So as myself and Laura and friends of ours have been helping us to find alternative places to go to for these treatments, you will have various different contacts with them, so email or telephone and things like that. So these guys were literally straight on the phone to me. They set up a very quick consultation with somebody who explained what they required paperwork wise, etc. I got those bits together, sent them off, and the consultant came back to me again very quickly and started to ask me questions about my treatment so far, what I've been through, the types of things which I may or not agree with in one sense, I suppose. And it was really encouraging as we were having those conversations with him, when they're asking you the same questions that you generally ask yourself. So I guess a prime example of that would be when we first spoke, he asked me if the decision that we took way back when to try chemotherapy before operating on any of my body was the right decision. And do you know what, in hindsight, I'm not sure, you never know, hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? In hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best decision. No one's ever going to really know. But part of me, when I look back on it, does think that if I had have pushed, when they first discovered the tumours, they said that the one in my rectum was just inside the area which was their kind of margin of error, if you like, where their fudge factor, I like to call it a fudge factor, would be. So if I had pushed back then and said, no, do you know what, I'd really like you to operate and remove this tumour, would they have done it? I don't know. Would going private had been an option then? Again, I don't know, who knows. But it does make me think that if that main source of the disease had been removed from my body, which was 17 months ago now, would I be in a better physical state now or in a worse? And I can't help but think that maybe I would be in a better physical state. So it's definitely a very pertinent question that he asked there. So little things like that, in the conversations have just gave us a lot of confidence in what they were saying, the way they described the treatments to us, not really concentrating on, we weren't given any, data or facts or figures or anything like that. It wasn't like a sales pitch. It was more, it was very focused on me and what they thought that they would eventually be able to do for me in terms of treatments. So it wasn't like they were saying, oh, well, we've got a 50% chance of healing you, or etc. They didn't give us any of that kind of like sales blurb, if you like. So that was really, really encouraging. Again, another encouraging conversation today. And just hope that, again, optimistic that the things that we're going to be doing over the next few weeks are going to work. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping you guys updated. Exactly the reason why I'm doing these videos for all of us to take a look at. Then the other part of why we chose Germany, I guess. So we've looked at, obviously, we've scoured the UK. I went on that drugs trial down in Oxford a few months ago, which was unfortunately unsuccessful. COVID has had, from what we understand, a really, really big effect on trials and things within the UK because of all of the complications that COVID has brought into the picture. So people's lack of staff, their ability to open and invite people in, the social distancing side of things, all that kind of stuff. So we were quite lucky in a sense to find the one that we did end up entering. The main reason why we chose to come abroad, I guess, is because you're then into the realms of privately paying for things, and there's no two bones about it, is that going abroad, being a health tourist, so to speak, it's less expensive than being in the UK. We looked at the very, very first clinic that somebody recommended to us was actually in Mexico, and it was the first one that we looked at seriously. And it's somewhere that my initial impressions of the place were really good, and I've seen some really nice stories about people who've been there and had some very, very positive experiences off the back of that. So that may still be an option, if my time here doesn't kind of go to plan, if my disease doesn't show any signs of improvement, I'm not going to just keep coming and doing the same thing, because as many of you have probably heard me say before, Albert Einstein's definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and getting exactly the same results. So I'm certainly not going to be doing that if this trip isn't successful in terms of my disease and its progression. Then we will be looking at other options, of which there are quite a few. So that one in Mexico may well still be of interest. There was one in Turkey which we've looked at recently, which was also very interesting, and then a similar one in Spain. There wasn't much between them to choose. There's some differences in some of the treatments. There's also a lot of similarities between them in some of their treatments. So they're not all exactly the same. And to find one place that offers absolutely everything out there in terms of treatments would probably be very, very, very difficult, I would say. So it might end up that I end up going somewhere else. But as I've said to people as well, if someone sat me down within the decision-making process, we had quite a few weeks to look at things and evaluate where we would end up going first. If someone had sat me down with a gun and said, you got to make your decision now, here's 4 choices, here's Germany, Mexico, Turkey, and Spain, got 5 seconds before we put a bullet in you, I probably would have chosen Germany. It's the country which I would kind of think of to be closest to the UK in terms of their healthcare and infrastructure and maybe the regulations in place and all that kind of stuff. So I felt really, really comfortable coming here. I really did. So yeah, that's a little bit about why we chose to come here. I think I've told you everything about what's happened today. The weekend is going to be relatively slow. I think I'm only going for like 1 infusion tomorrow, so I may not do a video tomorrow. You might have to wait until Sunday or Monday for the next one, but I will upload it as soon as it's ready. I'll stick it on my Facebook and Instagram as I've been doing, and catch up with you guys then. But again, once again, guys, thank you all so much for absolutely everything, all of the support. Donations are still coming in. Oh, and the raffle is going to be tonight. I'm so excited about the raffle. I think we sold something like 600 odd tickets now, which is just incredible, for those fantastic Lego sets. And I'm going to be jealous of whoever wins, because anyone who knows me knows how much I love my Lego. So many of you that I'm rooting for. I'm so excited to see who wins it. I really genuinely am. Obviously, I don't have any favourites. It's not down to me. The site, it's all done. I've got absolutely no influence into who wins this raffle whatsoever. That's all handled by the site, which is doing the whole thing. But good luck to everyone. Like I say, really can't wait to see who wins it. Genuinely excited. Enjoy your weekend. Please keep helping us to share the page. There's going to be hopefully some more stuff going out over the next couple of weeks on different media channels, etc. We've been trying our very best to work with as many PR agencies. We've had some really kind offers from some people who like radio DJs potentially, who are going to be putting a message out, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, like I say, just please keep helping us to share, get the word out there, reach as many new people as possible, because it's been fantastic. The amount of money that's been raised to try and help me beat this thing is just incredible, and I'll still never get over it. If it stops tomorrow, I'd still be eternally grateful, but I've still got a long road in front of me, and plenty more treatment that's going to be needed, and it all costs at this point. So like I say, that's my little begging bit done. Please do help to help me to keep sharing it and getting the message out there. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you all. And I'll see you on the next episode of my vlog. Just before I go, just don't forget to leave your comments and ask me any questions. And like I said, really happy to answer whatever they might be for you, to help you understand this journey that I'm on, or that we're all on together, I guess. So thank you once again, ladies and gents, and see you all very soon. Bye bye.